YouTube, it's Brad Phillips. Look at this. We've got the T-28 V2. Beautiful. Slight difference in livery here. We've got this, and we've got the little starburst. But other than that, it looks just like the original 1.2 meter. And yes, it does have the 3-bladed prop. The biggest difference is that it now has smart technology. I have had that happen once in flight now and once on this video. But as you can see, we've got an AR631 in there. I'm running a 4000 4S, and you can see an Avian ESC. And you know what that means? And if you don't know what that means, I'll show you right now. Okay, so we'll just lay this down. What we wanted to do is we wanted to show you taking off and landing on a small runway. So this is a small runway. That's not quite 5 feet wide, and that's about 17 feet. Okay, so takeoff flaps. We're just gonna go ahead and back taxi a little bit because we can. This is about 37 feet plus 3 feet, so 40 feet to the edge of that sidewalk. So I'll just taxi into position and show you, and then show them a quick look over there. You see between us and show them the place where we hang the bug zapper.
Oh, the bug zapper is right here.
So that's what we're avoiding. So we have a very tight space. So we'll see if we can get a landing right here. The second thoughts. Beautiful plane. Okay, into the throttle. No problem out of the flaps. Absolutely incredible looking plane. Look at this on 4S, 4000. Stay right where you are, camera crew. We need them to see just how tight it is. Full landing flaps coming out. We'll give you guys a pass first, 10% throttle. Look how close this is, guys. Okay, out of the flaps. Sorry, sun is the enemy. Okay, out from the awning there. Guys, this thing will do anything you tell it to. Love that sound. Take off flaps and around. Look how tight that is, guys. Okay, out of the flaps. That was takeoff flaps I just came out of. Look at this, cornhole. Safe. Just so you guys know, there is safe. So what I was planning on was landing here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out of safe again, take off flaps, landing flaps. What I'm gonna do is I'll come around and just kind of, I feel like we're kind of landing the other direction than I'd hoped, but we're gonna take 2 rounds or at least 1. We're gonna see, I don't know if I can get this angle. We may have to kind of change our body positions. Full landing flaps now. You good? Mm-hmm. Everybody does that on final. Okay. Woo! Okay, so we'll pause and show you the damage.
Yep.
Okay, so we found the stall point. Sorry, I was yakking. So I bent the landing gear right there. That's not so good because that is a vulnerable spot. And then it feels like everything is okay here. Obviously we have the throttle cut on. So let's take a look at this. This was a common point of failure for some of you on the original 1.2. I didn't have a big problem with it until like maybe my 400th landing. I'm just gonna lay this upside down so we can do this real quick. That was just all stupidity right there. So if you find yourself in this stupid situation, there's 2 ways to try to do this. You can either fix it this way or you can fix it the right way. I'm gonna do it the wrong way. So the wrong way is you support the landing gear on one side with a tool and then you bend it back with the other tool or no tool. And it looks like I'm probably gonna be able to get it, but it's gonna take a little bit of doing and it's likely to break here, okay? Because it's gonna be weak, okay? So I just need to support this really well and then bend it back. And if it bends back, everybody's happy. You could also heat it, but you don't have to. So I'm gonna bite this with this tool and get it to a point where it's supported, okay? Okay. So our alignment is now out of alignment this way, but we're close to where we need to be this way. Show them on the front. See how it's out of alignment? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm now just gonna try to take care of that. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'll grab this with a crescent wrench. If you have a bigger crescent wrench, you could probably get away with this better. Okay, so I'm gonna brace this here and then just kind of go straight with it. Oh yeah, baby. I think we got it. Let's show the people.
Oh.
See how easy that was? Now, for those of you that are on your second landing, you've already done that and you're just on pavement, and you're not trying to land on a short runway, I'm sorry, it is something you have to practice a lot. I've been flying this plane forever. I can't believe I just stalled like that, but that's what happens. Okay, so let's test everything. Rudder's not working. Look. See, the rudder's not working.
Nope, that's not. Oh.
Steerable nose gear's working. Let's find out why. Throttle cut's on. Neutral on the rudder axis. Throttle cut was tested. Oh, it just popped out. Let's show the people up here. I thought it was undone there. It's not. It's undone back here. So guys, that's the first thing you do when you have a crash. Start looking for damage. One at a time, fix every problem. Make sure your throttle cut's on. Take the prop off if you're a real chicken. And that's fine if you are. Better to be a chicken with both hands.
Yep.
Okay, let's show the people what happened here. As you can see, it just popped off. Now, were we in the outside hole?
That's a good question.
I don't know. Let's stick it in the middle and see what happens. Okay.
Oh.
All right. So now that we're in the middle hole, we'll just go ahead and double check everything. Man, this thing is slick. It's crazy. Sheesh. I can barely hold it. All right, guys. We haven't had a good crash for a while. Rudder. Okay. Ailerons. Everything. Okay, throttle cut. Here we go. Taking off again. Camera crew, you good? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that, like it never even happened. Everybody just died in that crash and we're just like restaffed it and now we're back into the air. Let's switch directions. Look at that speed. So good, folks. Okay, perfect. Turn around. Hey, I want you to turn around your body. There you go. Full landing flaps coming in. Let's see if I can slow it down in time. If at first you don't succeed, keep doing stupid things until you do. See, not quite enough clearance. I've already done this once off camera, folks. Full disclosure. Come back a little bit, please. There you go. There you go, right there, perfect. Great. See this low point, guys? Right here, 10%, 15%, 20%. Look at that, right over the trees, here come the gear. Oh, so gorgeous, love it. Okay, just trying to gauge my distance. Full landing flaps. Getting into the throttle, man. This is where you're committed. Oh man, so close. That wind is just so subtle, but it's making this not work very good. There go the gear. Okay, and just so you know, we're 3 minutes and 23 past our 4-minute timer, but that's irrelevant in this one. Gear coming out, flaps coming out. Full landing flaps this time, no dinking around. About 15% throttle. We're ready to flip the reverse thrust. Man, this is just a bad angle, that wind. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it today. There's just enough of a wind that's pushing me away from the building. That's a tight spot, folks. You wanna land the other way? Like coming this way? What do you guys think about the speed of this aircraft? I think it's phenomenal. I love flying it. I did about 10 flights the other night off camera. Absolutely one of my favorite flying planes. Okay, gear coming out. Look how much it slows down going downhill. This is so phenomenal. A lot of rudder there to keep that thing flying. Under the sun and up and over. Going to the cornfield, under the power lines. By the way, funny thing came up today. Got a quote from the power company to bury our power lines. And you're like, are you serious, Brian? You're gonna bury your power lines for us? Maybe. I mean, I'd like to think I'm doing it for myself, but that's okay, you can watch. Full throttle. Listen to that noise. Listen. Oh, that is so sweet. I don't know why I'm yakking up a storm today. What the heck? I think it's spring. That's what happens when it gets to being spring. I start yakking. What do you think of that line, folks? Camera crew, what do you think? Go on the inside this time, you good?
Okay, yep.
Okay, let's go back to the runway. I just need a little more room. Toward me. Thanks. You guys can't tell because we both have mics on, but there's a lot of communication that goes on when we're both focused, laser focused on an aircraft, and we really are truly laser focused. Oh yeah, I like it.
That seemed better.
Yeah, that was, I mean, I was still 6 feet off, but the difference between 6 feet, and you guys can't feel it, but there is wind on my right ear. Mm-hmm. It's just enough to make the plane drift, so I have to yaw it in toward the building. And if the wind disappears, it'll be too late. You see what I'm doing? I'm having to crab toward the building. And see what's right in front of it is a big berm of snow. Okay, well, who needs a sidewalk anyway? Guys, I'm telling you, this reverse thrust is phenomenal, okay? Reverse thrust seems like such a gimmick until you have it, and then you're like, wow, how come we don't have this on every plane? Man, that looks so freaking sweet. If you guys don't have an opportunity to buy this soon, I'm gonna be very hurt for you in my soul. Going on the inside, you good? Mm-hmm. Just love the way that this thing controls. Love the way that it looks. Love the 4S power. And by the way, we've been flying for a long time. Now, granted, I must say we were fixing the landing gear. We're 7 minutes 9 over the 4. 2.5 to 3 of it was spent fixing the nose gear. And yes, I know there's that one guy that's gonna be like, oh, well, we don't know exactly how long it flies, so I don't like it. Are you kidding me, guys? I'm flying this for like over 10 minutes. Look, full speed on the count of 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 20 seconds of full throttle, folks. You don't get that with other batteries, folks. You would not get that on the old one, I guarantee it. There's my critical warning. It's probably an imbalance warning. Must say, my 4,000 milliamp hour packs have been, of the batch of packs, and I've got a lot of them, we've had the most trouble. I don't know why. Maybe we just beat the heck out of them. I think it's that certain size class. Okay, I want you to take 3 steps toward the house and then stop just off the runway. Perfect, right there. That was 2, let's do one more. One more. Thanks, perfect. Look at that beautiful line, guys. I'm not even gonna make it. Gotta give it throttle to get here. Folks, this plane is just an absolute joy to fly. And look, I already crashed it today and we have absolutely no negligible damage. 8 minutes, 47 past. Look at this, it's still going, guys. We're gonna go until the battery dies.
You're gonna do that.
Okay. 30% throttle, 40% throttle, full landing flaps. Let's get this thing rolled early, out of the gear, out of the flaps. Never exceeded 40%, 45, 50, 60, 70, 100% obviously. There's our critically low warning. I eat critically low warnings for breakfast. Okay, there we go. You guys like them, dead stick landings. I know you do. Look at that beautiful blue sky, gonna be terrible for footage. Okay, going to the low point, out of the throttle. Okay, a little bit of power, gear coming down, full landing, flaps, a little bit of throttle, about 30% just to get it here, and then flare. Look at this, guys, we got 0%, zero feet rollout. Okay, we've got critically low warnings. Let's go ahead and take off with the wind. Take off flaps, 100% power. Gear going up. Gear coming down. We're gonna land it right now. Look at this, guys. Look at that beautiful line. Just absolutely gorgeous. Ooh, we bent the gear again. See what happens when you try to shortchange it? Throttle cuts on. Okay, let's talk about this for a minute. I love this plane. The nose gear does not seem to be a lot different from what we had originally. and some people had some issues with breaking it. The reason there was issues with it is because they didn't have parts at the time. I believe there's gonna be parts because they're making this plane again. Throttle cut's on, flaps are collapsed. We are currently at 10 minutes 35 past our timer. We're gonna just let that roll for now. Just a little bit of a bend back. I'd really like to see this stronger, guys. But at the same time, look how not hard it was to fix, okay? Sorry, that's not enough to stop yours truly. We're going. Camera crew. 50% throttle, get it up in the air. Look at that. Right over the house. Full throttle, gear coming down. Oops. Nose gear down. I noticed it was kind of bent a little bit to the side too. I didn't notice that until I was in the air.
Yep.
It's all right. It's all part of the show, guys. Look at this. Beautiful. No thrust reverse. There's thrust reverse. Oh, you don't even have to give it much. Absolutely, absolutely gorgeous plane. And we are now 11 minutes 37 past. Granted, we've had a few minutes of yak, yak, yak. And I gotta say, guys, let's check this gear out again. Did you notice it didn't totally collapse there?
Oh, it didn't totally
No,
collapse?
I felt like it was, and I was kind of fiddling with it there, trying to figure out if I was seeing things, but I didn't have enough flight. Let's check again. Oh, was it in my head? Maybe it's just the fact I could see it. Here, let's do them 3 times. Guys, we like to show you when we have problems. Here's why. Because we serve you, not the companies we work with. Unwittingly to them, we love this plane and we want you to buy it. But the thing is, we want you to know if there's gonna be issues. And by the way, if that nose gear is an issue for you, just don't crash like I did twice in a row. Hold on a second, let's just make up for that nose gear. Yeah, let's just do this. Let's just go ahead and back taxi all the way back to the end of the runway. Okay, we are just about 12 minutes, 34 seconds past our timer, which is 4 minutes, okay? I think 4 minutes is a little bit of a sham. Okay, here we go. 30%, 40%, 50, 60. Look at that beautiful roll. Gear going up, absolutely gorgeous. Into the power. Critically low alarm, I'm getting a warning and climbing out almost unlimited vertical coming down the runway. You good, camera crew? Manned aircraft, way off to the north and low. We're good. Notice it stopped beeping because it knows who's at the controls. Just kidding, guys. It knows to watch out. Full landing flaps and gear. Yes. Look at that balloon, beautiful. A little bit of throttle, just a little bit. We're gonna kiss the ground. We're gonna kiss it. Oh, I love you, ground. Love you. Oh, that was cool.
Oh.
Do you guys hear that? Let's go up there. It's giving me the critically low alarm, like, hey, I'm not gonna go anymore.
Like, we're really not kidding now?
1341 plus 4 would be 1741.
That's about right.
Let's say minus 3 minutes, 4 minutes for talking. So that's actually not bad. 15 minutes of flight time. If you guys can't get what you need out of 15 minutes of flight time with one battery, you're in the wrong hobby, guys. This is not a gas airplane. This thing runs on one battery. Hold this here. 4000, 4S. Smart technology, where have you been my whole life? Seriously, think about how far we've come in 7 years, camera crew, doing this.
I know.
It's incredible.
That's crazy.
Just even the Sport Cub S.
Yep.
I mean, just how much different our experience was back then. Now, what we're gonna do is, just because I am dying to fly this more, we're gonna go ahead and throw a 2200. Actually, you know what? Let's do a big 3S and just show the people what it looks like on 3S. We haven't showed that yet. We'll show it to you right now. Stay tuned. Okay, so I didn't realize my 3S battery's not charged. Whoops. And then I just realized, I thought that was snow on here. It was actually, my prop must have bumped it when we hit the ground. So that's what I'm gonna do to fix it. I know it's kind of janky, but I don't wanna paint it, so I'm just gonna use a black marker and then just touch it up. And it must have nicked over here too. So for those of you, the camera crew was telling me off camera while we were getting these batteries ready to go that you couldn't really see what happened. And I'm sorry about that, but what I'll do is I'll bring you over here. I was coming in over this area Come over here. I was flying around and I got into this low point. And so what happens is when there's wind that's coming up over the top of a hill, there's a downdraft. It's very subtle, it's very low. It's hardly anything. And I should have known better. But I was just so committed to my plan that I just stalled the plane right through the ground effect, which doesn't happen often. The thing plopped over upside down. The good news for you is it helped to prove that that plane is sturdy. I mean, it didn't have any problems. Granted, it wasn't very fast. I mean, a very fast crash. But that spot, and then in tune with this berm of snow, let's show the people from the side if you want to trade me sides. Right here, this is where I was trying to commit. And so you have to get up over the top and then get back enough airspeed. And I just made this stupid decision to get all the way down into ground effect and then try to like pull up out of it. I don't know why I thought I could do that. Because when you're coming into land, you're getting into a stall, an intentional stall, so that you can put the wheels down. But as you can see, we got the thing stopped just in time before we didn't even use the runway. Now the other day, the wind was going very gently that way, so I was able to nose in this direction. But right now, the wind is coming at us. So you'd be landing with the wind. It's just a kind of a bad configuration for that. So here in a couple of minutes, when the batteries are done, we'll pick back up. Thanks for staying with us. Okay, so we're back, 4000 3S. Same position, as you can see, 3S, 11.1 volts, what they say. When I first plugged it in, it was chiming at me. Okay. So it was taking a second to figure out what was going on. Because if you go from 4S to 3S, it gets confused, I think. Throttle cuts off, reverse thrust. What we're gonna do is we're gonna reverse thrust out to the runway. We'll take off, show you what it can do, and then hopefully we'll do a little bit of flying in the bowl because the sun is pretty intense where it is right now. The wind is somewhat indifferent right now, which is kind of cool. So take off flaps. Here we go. 50% throttle, plenty of power. Out of the flaps, out of the gear. You guys see that gear? I had to cycle it twice, no big deal. Full throttle. Not unlimited vertical, but pretty darn close. Look at this, I'm gonna just run it out for you. And there we are. That is plenty of power, folks. Full speed on the downhill. So beautiful. Camera crew, back toward the runway. Perfect, good job. Okay, so we're gonna fly out by the bowl. Hey, camera crew, if you wanna lead the way. So take off flaps, nice relaxing, 15% throttle. Down by the tree line. Careful on the ice there.
Yep.
As you can see, we're in some pretty tight quarters here and absolutely no problems controlling it. It's about 30% throttle on 3S here. Full landing flaps coming in. We'll show you how much you can slow it down. Beautiful, guys. I like it better with takeoff flaps in this configuration. Got the takeoff flaps into the power. Full landing flaps coming back down. 30% throttle, takeoff flaps back out. Lots of rudder to keep that nose pointed straight. Keep that nose down, keep it flying. A lot of elevator there. I was at elevator on that turn. Could have deployed the landing flaps for a little extra to reduce the radius. Okay, full landing flaps this time. Oh yeah, 20% elevator this time. Beautiful, love the way it looks down here. Take off flaps this time. Up and over. Into the backyard. We'll do a pass through the trees, full speed. on 3S. Back through the big hole, you good?
Mm-hmm.
Flying through the bowl. Guys, this thing is very high performance, even on 3S. You have entered my airspace. Get out. Get out of my airspace. You guys can hear it counting down. Take off flaps. We're going to slow it back down. Lots of rudder there. Get it flying. A little bit of juice at the end there. Real slow pass. You good?
Mm-hmm.
It's always cool when you can fly under your feet. It's a weird feeling. Use up that power. There's our critical low alarm. Full throttle, high speed pass. Love it, guys. Absolutely gorgeous. This plane deserves to be flown and not just looked at. Make no mistake, with safe, it makes it very flyable. Let's go through this little hole. You good?
Mm-hmm.
Up and over. Down right in front. You good?
Mm-hmm.
Critically low alarm. Takeoff flaps coming in. 15% throttle. Trading off airspeed for altitude. A little bit of alpha configuration here. Riding the elevator about 30% there. Just getting right on the edge of a stall. And then tipping. There it is. Out of the flaps. So cool, guys. Full speed. You'll note that when I hear the critically low alarm, I just change my behavior. There's our warning. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do a touch and go here. Camera crew, are you good getting back? I'm gonna do 2 loops. I'm gonna go around the bowl and then back down. Keep that nose ready to tip. Gear coming out. Here we go, guys. 10% throttle, full landing flaps coming in, getting into the ground effect, and then spongy, nice, juicy landing. Thrust reverse is a little bit slower coming on 3S there, but it's definitely still makes for very short landings. What's this pilot doing? Why are you taking off? Your battery's dead. You hear it? Burp, 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 burp. Full landing flaps coming in just now. Yeah, right, like we're gonna take that, are you kidding me? Gear up, flaps up. We need the energy efficiency to make it to our landing zone. Out of the throttle, let that battery recover. Glide, 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 glide. Gear coming out. No takeoff flaps. Here's the takeoff flaps. A little burst of throttle. Just enough to get past the tree line. 10% to get out of the braking. Full landing flaps coming in for the ground effect. And then flare and reverse thrust. There it is, guys. Low voltage at 10.2. Okay. Clear the timer. As you can see. Boy, if there wasn't a reason, that's only 3 + 4.
Wow. Yeah.
That's a lot shorter flight
big
time.
difference.
I figured 4,000 3S would be actually a similar flight time. But we experienced, that's a Gen 1 4S. Gen 1 4S. And I would definitely say that the Gen 1 3S, the Gen 2 4S, was that, well wait, wasn't the first 4S a Gen 2 as well? I can't remember. This one's a Gen 1.
I thought you said Gen 2, but I'm not positive.
All I can say is the plane is still exceptional.
Yeah.
I'm gonna taxi around here and give you guys another shot of it. I'll kind of stay out of the way. Beautiful takeoff flaps deployed. Remember we just crashed this like 10 minutes ago, twice. Out of the flaps. Beautiful, full landing flaps there. Dirty taxi pass, sorry about the shadows. Absolutely love this plane. Okay, 3 minutes and 5 past the timer. We've already had 2 low voltage alarms. Dang it, Brian, you took off again. What are you doing? You guys see it pulling along? Takeoff flaps. Landing flaps, waiting for the last second on the gear this time. Gear. Oh, it's so cool, guys. So cool. Gotta love it. This plane is everything you want and more. I love flying this plane. I have flown it probably 15 to 18 times since our first unbox build radio setup. That's something that's unusual for us. Usually about the time we're done with a plane, we've had a couple other planes in the pipeline. We did do about, I would say about 10 other flights. But the thing is, this one is gotta be one of my favorite planes. And it really, truly, honestly is one of my favorites. It does an amazing job taking off. It does an amazing job landing. The high-speed passes are just juicy and gorgeous, especially on 4S. Typically when we have a 3 and 4S configuration, look at the geese up here. They're trying to undermine our video.
They are.
Usually when we have 3 or 4S planes, I've found that 3S planes sometimes fly a little bit more scale. Super disappointed with the 3S 4000 on this plane. The 3S 4000 gave us a lot less, like half as long a flight time. And I was beating the heck out of it on 4S. I don't know if you guys remember where I counted out 1, 2, 3, 4, or 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and then I did it again. I was full throttle, 100% throttle that whole time. That is very unusual. And we had already achieved alarms, I think, before that moment.
You were several minutes into your flight when you did that.
So what I was gonna say is on the 3S, you just don't get near as much power. So I would definitely say this plane is gonna be designed for a 4S flight. That's what I would do. I would just get if you're tight on cash, get a 2200 4S. Gen 1 will save you money. If you can afford the Gen 2 and you wanna use the pack for other planes, I'd get 4S 4000 Gen 2. Because that's gonna be the most bang for your buck on this plane. And then it also kind of gets you into that 4S EDF power class. If you go to 3200 4S, you're kind of married to a weird size. There are some planes that take 3200 4S, but I think they're kind of sparing. Sorry, the timer's clearing again. So my expectation is if you want the best bang for your buck, this plane is a great bang for your buck. The 1.1 meter is very good. Not trying to take anything away from it, but A, no flaps, B, no thrust reverse. Those are 2 huge features. Huge. This plane has them both. And retracts, obviously. So retracts, just this plane looks absolutely gorgeous with the wheels up. And I have noticed we've had a couple of issues where the gear don't always cycle. I don't know why that is. I don't really care as long as they cycle. I think it's kind of cool. It's a little bit interesting. It's a little bit annoying too, but it's not a deal breaker for me. I love this plane still and I want to fly it more. And basically what I'm thinking is here in about 10 minutes, that sun is going to drop over the top of those trees and it's just going to get absolutely gorgeous out here. And we're going to have pink and purple skies. And I think we're going to try to do one more flight tonight and just close it out on 2200 4S because it's such a popular size class. And I know that a lot of you guys are thinking, but Brian, I don't have a 4000 4S. What the heck am I going to have that for? A bunch of different EDFs that are 4S are going to be size classed for 4000. Well, they're actually 3,300. But anyway, we fly them on 4,000 because it works better. And that being said, I love this plane. It is put together super well, very easy build, very easy radio setup. Everything is sized right. I just love the way it flies. The only thing I don't like about this plane is there were some things that weren't trimmed as neat as they should have been, in my opinion. And then obviously like the weird thing with the gear, like I'm not super worried about them not working. I'm more just like, what the heck is that? I don't want to have them where they're stuck in when I'm trying to land. I haven't had that happen yet. I've just had it where they haven't come in, which if I'm going to pick one or the other type of failure, I'm going to pick staying down, you know, over being stuck in. And by the way, if you get that, my experience has been get out of the throttle, get to altitude, get out of the throttle and do high G maneuvers while calling for the gear. Meaning flip over upside down, pull back hard on the elevator, give them help, and then cycle the gear. But be out of the throttle because that is one of the more power consuming things on your aircraft is cycling the landing gear it's a power suck. So you want to make sure you don't do that. That's a lot of times why when you're in the first takeoff stages, if you can wait until you're up and you know you've kind of worked through that inrush current of getting the motor running, it can actually be a little bit helpful. But I don't think there's a sizing issue. I just think I got a fluke going on. So we'll find out. If we do figure out what it is, we'll share it with you. But to be honest with you, I could care less. Everything, they pale in comparison to the positives on this plane. And I wouldn't say that for any plane. We have planes that have landing gear issues that are just garbage. And that's just one of 7 or 8 different problems. This thing, yeah, they're minimal. Plus you have to remember I just crashed it, not once, but twice today. Once was over here and once was over here. So don't forget, when you crash your plane, sometimes things change a little bit. So until you figure out what's wrong. Without further ado, if you guys have questions about this plane, leave them in the comments below. We know this is still probably pre-release when you're watching this. We're not sure because our videos stay up for so long. But if it's pre-release right now, definitely get one coming. It is an exceptional example of 1.2 meter beautiful warbird. If you're not a huge fan of the T-28, but you kind of like this and you think it might itch your scratch, trust me, it will. It was one of the last warbirds for me to get in the 1.2 meter size class, and it should have been the first because it is by far one of the best flying planes. And yes, I have the P-51. Yes, I have the F4U Corsair. Yes, I have I've flown the P-47 a bunch. I don't actually have one, but Esteban has one. I've probably flown it more than him. I've actually had 3 P-51s, 4 P-51s, because we've had 2 of the June Knights.
We've had a bunch.
And Gen 1, Gen 2, and then we've had
a Blondie.
Blondie, and then, well, I did his June Knight too. Yeah. His June Knight, so that would have been the 4th. So, I mean, we love the P-51s, don't get me wrong, but this plane flies so phenomenal. It just leaves nothing on the table.
Yeah.
Sun will be down in a few minutes and we'll be flying, so stay tuned a little bit more. All right, so we've got 2200 4S in here. And I just want to show you this, right in the middle. We're not messing around. We don't even check CG on this plane. It doesn't matter. It just flies great, okay? So you guys can ask me all the questions you want about that, but I'm not gonna know. That's usually one of those questions I get over and over again. And I just kind of never know the answers, so I don't mean to put you guys off. I just don't know. 4S 2200. Nice. There's that landing gear being stupid again. There it goes. Did you hear the critically low alarm? Mm-hmm. Man, that's so beautiful. I don't know if you guys can hear the speed, but it's just, this plane is fast. And I love it. Just love the way that it makes flying so easy and so fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, you have to have some skill to fly it. But I mean, can you think of, look how stinking gorgeous that thing is. Full landing flaps this time. Keep that rudder involved, get that nose around. Take off flaps now. Man, that is gorgeous. Attacker. Take off flaps. Force the nose down just a hair. Get her flying again. Man, I love flying this plane. If you guys can tell. Somebody was just asking me in a comment about this plane compared to the Cherokee 1.3. Cherokee 1.3 is way less capable, but I love the way that that plane flies too. And the reason I love flying that plane so much is it's just a gorgeous, relaxing, beautiful plane. Take about 10 steps to your right, please. Going around the eagle killing zone to your right. That's not your right. Go to your right. Thank you. Perfect. And this plane, it does everything up to and including incredible performance, slow, incredible performance, fast. Look at the pink, just love it. Critical low alarm, right behind me. So beautiful. You guys see the difference in load when I do this compared to coming downhill? Let's fly upside down for a little bit. Take off flaps, watch this. See that? Isn't that weird? You almost can't not turn over. I just love how fast it corrects from completely out of control. I mean, you're almost not out of control for any period during a cornhole. That's the crazy part. See, watch. See that? Just get it flying, and there it is. It's already under control. Take off flaps, gear. Let's do a touch and went. Do a steep approach over the power lines this time. Go into the eagle killing zone and then down. Full landing flaps this time for the steep approach. Force the nose down. You guys hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Gear coming down. Take off flaps. Only take off flaps. Taking this first low point. Absolutely gorgeous line. Full landing flaps coming in. Into the ground effect. Thrust reverse. Just to slow it down a little bit. And then back around. Sure, 1 minute 50 past our 4-minute timer. And as you can see, we've got about 25% left on the pack. But we get into the critically low alarm. So what that tells you is you have to really watch what you're doing when you take off. 40% throttle there. Nice, easy. Full landing flaps. rudder to get that nose pointed around. Using a lot of elevator, keep my nose pointed up, and then rudder to find the line. Full landing flaps. Let's see if we can land it right here in front of us. Woo! I got caught on the edge there. We're not dead yet. We're gonna keep going, but I just don't want to bend the landing gear. Throttle cut is on and tested. Usually try to take one wheel at a time for those. Hey, stay where you are up at the edge, please.
Okay.
Oh, crap. Dead stick for real this time. Boom!
Dead, dead.
Dead, dead.
Oh.
Throttle cut's on. I didn't want to put down in the grass like that, but we're at 3 minutes 48, 49 plus 4, so that'd be 7.5. It's pretty juicy here, so I'll just go out and grab it.
Okay.
You can see where I kicked up dirt here from my first landing. Oh, man. So, for those of you who are wondering about the gear, how did they fare on that landing? They fared fine, but I think I bent this back. Nope, still cycles fine, so I think we're okay. I just think, honestly, the fatal flaw, if you had to pick one on this plane, is that nose gear is a little bit weak. I don't care. This thing is awesome otherwise. I love it. I love the smart technology. I love thrust reverse. I love the impeccable flight performance. Why was this thing discontinued for so long? I don't know. Because it was a great plane before, and now it's an exceptionally great plane. As you can see, Gen 2 4S 2200. See, 4S 2200, just right in the middle of the straps. Every battery we've flown, we put in the battery tray. We don't worry about the CG. We have been totally satisfied with the way it performs. In terms of trimming and things like that, everything has gone really smooth. We did definitely work that pack. So if you're gonna fly on 2200 4S, my suggestion would be to fly 5 to 6 minutes and then go ahead and land. The reason I say is because those batteries are expensive. And if you push them to the limit like I do all the time, you're gonna tend to wear out the battery. But man, can you just, this thing is so good. I love planes, and I usually, you know, I get pretty excited about most planes, no matter what. But just look at this gorgeous day. Look at this beautiful sunset. I mean, I just love flying this stuff for you guys, and we love bringing this content to you. So thank you for being part of our lives. Thank you for helping us to have an opportunity to bring you these reviews. And the best thing you can do if you want to support us is just buy this absolutely amazing plane for yourself from the video description below. There's a link. When you buy from there, we get small commissions from the companies that make these things and bring them to you. You don't pay any extra. We just get a small commission. And that's how we fund our channel. Same thing with the batteries, same thing with the transmitters. And here's the thing, guys. If you hate this T-28, I don't know how you could. If you hate it, there's millions of other choices. And when I say millions, it's a slight exaggeration. But let's say that we have 70 other choices in the links below. This plane is good, okay? And we're used to telling you that planes are okay. We're used to telling you that you're gonna like this plane for this reason or that. But this plane is an everyday flyer. You can take it to the field, you're gonna love it. The one thing I can warn you about is the nose gear is not gonna take grass landings great. If you have a very bumpy grass field, or if you have an unkept field like ours. Ours is very bumpy. Show them this.
Very.
Our grass, go all the way down the length of it so they can see. You see what I'm talking about, guys? We've been trying for years to get this grass to take, and we've done the best we can. Like over here, same thing. See, there's some rough patches and what looks like dirt. That's because we've been bringing in dirt to flatten it out and try to get grass to take. And the last time we bought grass seed, we spent $300 on 2 bags of grass seed. It's getting insane. Everything is so expensive, just like these. So don't feel bad. Beautiful planes are getting expensive, but the thing is, so is everything else in our lives, which sucks. But I'm telling you guys, if there's a place, if there's a plane I could try to talk you into buying, this is it. It is amazing. I love it. It is very good. I have nothing to say bad about it, and I had problems with the landing gear. I love it still. I don't care. There's no LEDs. I don't care. It's still amazing. I want it bad. So if I crash this plane, I would get another one like right now because it is the best plane. I love it. So now, when this thing is, say, 2.1 meters instead of 1.2 meters, I think I'm also going to love it. But the thing is, if I know about it, I can't tell you about it. So anyway, stay tuned. Brian Phillips RC signing out for today. Don't forget to buy this thing, support our channel. Also, thanks to our patrons for supporting us. Regardless of what content we put out, we appreciate you guys. You're great. Obviously, you know who you are. And also for Harry, he said don't thank him, but he sent us a couple of tools. Thanks, Harry. We appreciate you. And yes, we still have Christmas trees on our front steps. And it is, what, March? Hey, what's that red car doing in there? Oh, that's right. The engine blew up in our car. Yay!
And guess who was not driving?
Camera crew was not driving, but that's okay. We got a lot of mileage out of that car before the engine blew up, 103,000 miles. Anyway, so if you were wondering if the camera crew and I ever have bad things happen to us, yes, we do. But anyway, hey, on that high note, on that extremely high note, thank you, patrons. We really need you this month. And also, buy these beautiful planes. They are so good. This thing is awesome. It is like one of the best planes that Horizon has made. I cannot believe they had it discontinued for so long because it is honestly, I have the 1.2. I have my original one in the basement still, and I love it still. So this is a great plane. Get it. You won't ever look back, I promise. And if you don't have an NX8, don't get the NX6, get the NX8. Just do it. It's like 50 bucks more, guys. Just do it. Just do it. Like they say, Nike or whatever. If money is not an object, just go for the just go for the iX20. Don't even waste your time on any of this stuff. But if money's an object and you're like normal people like us and you don't have unlimited resources, this is what you want. This is a better value than the NX6, even though it has 7 channels. The 7th channel is a partial channel. It does not give you full pulse width modulation. You also don't have this knob, and you have a couple extra switches. Those things are necessary in current plug-in flies that have thrust reverse and retracts, okay? And flaps. So if you have a plane that doesn't have flaps, retracts, or thrust reverse, or the full combination, you can get by with the NX6. But the reason I tell you that is because I want you guys to get the most out of this experience. And if you're gonna go blow 500 bucks on an NX6 compared to, 600 bucks or 570 bucks or whatever the difference is right now on the NX8, just get the NX8. You'll thank me later. That being said, the next step for me is probably gonna be an iX12 because I don't wanna go full up to the iX20. And to be honest, this is what everybody's using right now. So it's great. Also, if you get a DX, I'm not saying you can't. I know they'll do a lot of the stuff we're doing right now, but just keep in mind, the processor is not going to keep up with some of the firmware updates. So the reason that I keep saying get the NX, it is, I know it's more. Let's say it's like half of a model more expensive. I get it. You just got to do it. If you want to get 2, 3, 4 years out of these things, just get this now. Okay? If you're watching this video and then the next video I've got something different, you might want to listen to the next video. But at this moment in history, the NX8 is the way to go. It gives you the best bang for the buck. And yes, there is a little teeny price difference between this and the 6, but it's worth it. Okay, so second thoughts on the T-28 version 2, amazing. I love it. It's not perfect, but it's amazing. And I am totally overlooking our couple of little tiny, teeny issues. For instance, when you crash, you may have to bend the nose straight. Okay, when you crash.
Don't crash.
Don't crash. Okay, secondly, we had some trimming issues that we noticed. We weren't thrilled about that. And some decals that weren't like maybe perfect, but I don't really care. It's not that big a deal. When this thing's flying by at like 100 miles an hour, you're not gonna care. You're gonna be like, that plane is awesome. I must have one. And you will when you follow the links in the video description below. Come back for more.